Well, experts say 2020 was a challenging year for many. Actually, many people say that, not just experts. But they've stressed experienced people can trigger health issues in the years to come. With KITV4's Tesia Worley, before we take on new resolutions, it could be time to consider a recovery checklist to get your health back on track.
Here to help this morning is Dr. Taz Bhatia, wellness expert, integrative MD, renowned for combining modern science with Eastern medicine, and is the host of the nationally acclaimed Superwoman Wellness podcast. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
So excited. And you're based out of Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Correct.
Beautiful place. Okay, so before we start to, really take on our New Year's resolutions, of course, 2020 was a different one for a lot of us, and I'm sure everyone has experienced different stresses, possibly new health issues as well. Can you talk about the importance of creating the recovery list?
Yes, I think we all agree that 2020 was traumatic and 2021 is a little bit that way as well. And what we know from Eastern systems of medicine is that chronic trauma and stress really wreak havoc on the body. They can trigger all kinds of physical issues, but sometimes we are checked out and we don't realize it until it's too late. So having that checklist on hand and walking through sort of these signs and symptoms on a day-to-day or weekly basis is important to keep us ahead in the game. So this includes things like your sleep, your energy levels, what your mood is like, what's happening with your hormones, and understanding even the softer things like the quality of your hair, your skin, your nails. All of these things ultimately matter when we're trying to recover and stay ahead of our health rather than playing catch up.
And what are some of the biggest health issues you would say that stem from 2020?
Yeah, I think, when I step back and think about everyone's stories that I've heard and who I've seen in the exam room and what's happening, I think most people are complaining about sleep. They're not able to get deep and restful sleep. And here's what we know, that sleep is the foundation of health. And so Sleep Savior is a formula I created, again, merging and blending together Eastern and Western medicine. It contains magnesium, melatonin, magnolia bark. Magnolia bark, remember, is an herb, a Chinese herb that helps with lowering cortisol levels, the stress hormone. So that's a place to start, is really how do we get good, consistent sleep? And then moving past sleep, how do we get good energy? Because a lot of times what happens when we're stressed for too long of a period of time, we get burnout. We're just tired and we don't want to do it anymore. But here's what's happening. What's happening with chronic stress is we're depleting the body of B vitamins and essential nutrients. And so it's important to replace those so we can feel mentally sharp and on task and energetic. And so Boost is a formula with methylated B vitamins, and those vitamins do absorb better than the average B, and helps us sort of manage sort of this time that we're all going through when we're feeling so tired.
What other supplements can we use to boost our recovery?
There are other things to think about, and they all go back to that recovery checklist, understanding your immune health and where it stands. I've been talking about that a lot over this year, as your immune health really matters. Your gut health matters as well, and there's a gut immune connection. We're up to 70% of your immune system is in your gut, so balancing those are incredibly important. There are things you can do to control both, so you can support the immune system by getting enough sleep. We've talked about that, by getting the right nutrients, and by doing things like taking astragalus C and zinc. Astragalus is one of my favorite Chinese herbs. It really helps to support the immune system and fight off infection, lower that viral load. And my Belly Fix, inspired by my book, The 21-Day Belly Fix, is a product, kind of the gut kitchen sink, that helps to rebuild the gut lining, provides the pre and probiotics we need to maintain health, along with things that ease digestion. So I would say those are probably the next big meaty categories to get into to help us. And then from there, our hormone balance is important, and even the quality of our hair, and some of these other softer things are really important in staying healthy and ahead of the game when it comes to the year ahead.
And there's more information on that story and a link to Dr. Taz's website at KITV.com. Coming up,